So, Grammy, I was looking through that Grandmother's Memories book that you gave me for Christmas a couple years ago, and a lot of these questions are stemming from some things that I read in there. So, first, can you tell me who was your best friend growing up, and could you tell me a bit about them?
Probably in high school, a girl named Pat Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we just clicked.
Y'all just clicked. What were some things that y'all liked to do together? Like, if y'all were having a girls' day, what kind of things would y'all do?
Nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
And I really can't tell you what we did.
That's all right. Did she meet Grampy when y'all were dating?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did she think of Grampy when you introduced him?
Oh, no.
She came from a totally different family than ours. Mm-hmm. She had an older brother.
Banking.
And he was in banking.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
But, you know, didn't impress me. So.
Yeah, of course. So did she think that y'all were a good pair whenever you introduced Grampy? Because I know that my best friend has a lot to say about all of my partners that I bring around.
You know, she really never said that much.
No?
No.
All right. No opinions. Okay. Well, on that note, how were girls expected to act in relationship when you first started dating?
Probably to the fact that there wasn't a lot of emphasis put on some things that are done today.
So I guess to clarify my question a little bit, I was reading a teen magazine from the mid-'60s where there was an advice column where girls could write into their older brother, big sister version of the magazine with advice questions. And I kept seeing a repeated theme in the magazine of, even if you feel like you know a lot on a topic, don't bring that up to a man. Let him be the knower of all things. Let him be kind of like the guide. Don't overstep your boundaries with knowledge with him. Do you feel like that was true?
Not for me.
Not for you?
No.
No.
If I had an opinion, I would say it. Mm-hmm. And if it didn't work, he would tell me.
How did that work when you went to go visit his family in Indiana? Because I know that was a little bit rough in the beginning.
His mom was so cool. We got to Indiana, and he goes off fishing. Leaves me with a woman that I didn't know, had just met.
Oh my.
Which I was really happy about. But it worked out. You know, she was just so easygoing, very cool.
Did you guys ever have the, the stereotypical mother-in-law, daughter-in-law arguments, or did you guys seem to get along pretty well?
No, we got along. She wouldn't contradict anybody.
Really?
Even if she thought something, she would never say. Ever.
Was there ever a time where, I know as, maybe teenagers, I know that I've done a bunch of things that have made my parents very mad. Can you think of a time where you did something that just maybe made your parents very angry, or a time that you got in the most trouble?
That they found out about?
Yeah.
Or that they knew?
Yeah, of course, or both.
They were very, very strict. And I would sneak out a lot.
You would sneak out? How did you sneak out? What was your plan of action?
Well, my mom worked the night shift. Mm-hmm. She was a nurse. So.
It's easy going right there.
Yes, it was.
3 to 11, she worked.
I'm sorry?
3 to 11.
3 to 11. Oh, wow. Oh, my.
And the car was always there. So, hey, Why would I sit at home?
Right. I'm saying. And your dad never woke up when you would sneak out?
Well, he was gone too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he worked nights too, didn't
Well, you just got the luckiest teenagehood ever, huh? So where would you go when you would sneak out? Is there a place that you frequented?
Go pick up some girlfriends. And there was a street called Speedway. And we just cruise up and down.
Sounds so fun. That is, I was actually just talking about that with Dad earlier about how much I envy the simplicity of times back
Those
then.
times.
And yeah, we don't cruise anymore. We always have to be doing something.
That was the thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we, there was a place called, what was it?
Bob,
Yeah, Bob's Big Boy. It's where I met him.
Johnny's.
Yeah. And,
Johnny's where I met you.
and we pulled into a spot and him and another guy was in there. And I was with this Pat. And she wound up marrying him.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lucky bunch. So what were your thoughts? If he made a claim on you, did you feel the same way when you saw him and his friend? Were you drawn to
Oh, I
either
just
one?
thought he was a lot cuter
Oh,
than the other guy.
of course. As you should. Well, so how do you think, when you guys started dating, how do y'all think that compares to the dating culture of today?
I think we were more restricted as to what we could do, what we could get away with. Today it's just a little bit too free, in my opinion. You know, not even just the morals, just you didn't have a lot of things that you were held accountable for.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of big differences, I think, that, or I guess a bunch of big, the concerns are different now in relationships, it seems like. And what do you think were some green flags and red flags in partners back when you started dating? What were some, like, 3 good things and 3 things that would instantly turn you off of somebody?
Probably the way the guy looked, the way he acted. And back then I didn't really hold accountable any kind of religious thing, whereas I would today.
So we have a saying now in my generation. It's called the ick, and it's basically something that somebody does that just automatically like, no thank you, no more. So for me personally, if somebody does drugs, that's an automatic ick for me. There's nothing you can do to return.
But see, we never had to deal with drugs,
But is there?
which sounds really weird today.
It is a little bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we didn't. You just,
Not a consideration.
there wasn't, never.
Was there?
At least not with the people that we hung around with.
Okay. Was there any one thing that somebody could say, a man could say, that would just automatically turn you off? Like there's a no compromise kind of thing?
No.
No. He always had a
If I didn't like it, I'd tell him, and he didn't like that. Goodbye.
Tough luck, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's see. What would your parents have done if you came home one day with an armful of tattoos?
Then they'd kill me.
Do you think they would kill you? What do you think? Do you think your mom or your dad would come around to the tattoos, or
My dad would.
your dad would?
Because anything I did was good with him.
Really?
Because I was daddy's girl.
Of course. Of course.
And anything I did was perfect.
Obviously.
Now, my mother and I, we didn't get along.
Your mother and you did not get along? What would you say is the biggest, like, arguments or repetitive arguments that you would have?
Nothing specific. I guess she just wanted me to behave in a certain way. And I just wanted to be freer.
Makes sense to me. I must have inherited that
Yes.
from you. Okay.
All the good traits.
Of course. That's why I'm the favorite, right?
That's right.
Okay, so when Tori and I were younger, Mom would take us on some mom-daughter days where we would have like a special occasion outing. So Six Flags or GameWorks or going to the zoo. What were some of your...
We didn't.
nothing. No outings at all? Picnics maybe? Vacations?
No, they were either working or taking care of the house. No, we didn't. There was nothing, ever.
Oh my. Were there any things that you guys as a family liked to do together? Like
My parents?
Yeah, you and your parents.
Go to Florida once a year or something.
What?
You went to Florida once a year, right?
Yeah, probably that's the only thing that we ever did was a trip. Did I have a good time? Sometimes.
That's fair enough. All right. Well, if you could send out a message to the future, your future great grandkids, what would you like to tell them?
Oh, wow. That would be really hard because it'll be totally different than it is today. So probably anything I said would not apply.
That's fair. You would tell them that I was the best grandkid.
Oh, well, talk to Maggie.
Of course. All right, I got a couple more here, two more. What were your first thoughts on my mom when Dad brought her home?
Very pretty. Very quiet. Yeah, I know.
Mom? My mom?
I missed that part.
Yeah.
Just really quiet. Like I say, very pretty.
Did you think that they were a good match?
No,
No, why not?
she was just too pretty.
Sorry.
She'll get a kick out of that. I thought you were handsome too, even with your perm. All right, and then my last one, I saw in that book that you gave me that one of your regrets was not seeing Elvis perform live. I know there was a big controversy with him and his thrusting hips when he first came about. How did your family feel about you listening to Elvis?
The first time he was on the Ed Sullivan Show. And my dad thought that was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Disgraceful.
Really? Oh my goodness. Was it the same around the time when, like, you know, the Beatles, was it the same reaction that I guess America had with the Beatles and that first time of like women falling to their knees
No,
screaming?
I think the Beatles came later. So I think people had sort of more or less accepted.
Sure. What was that like with was that when Elvis was performing? I know that women would be insane with their fanatics and screaming and fainting when he would just walk by on stage. Did you have any sort of reactions like that with music before him, or was he pretty much the first?
He was the first, yeah. But I never went into that. You know, it just, well, then I never did get to see him live.
That is so sad. All right. Well, I think those are all my questions I've got for you today.